The supreme leader of Iran, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, has been confirmed dead by multiple reports, and the president of the USA, Donald Trump. Citizens of the United States are happy, while citizens of Iran are reportedly demonstrating. Now, in late February 2026, the world actually woke up to breaking news that changed everything. Airstrikes, ballistic missiles, and leadership assassinations. And three nations are at the center of it all: Iran, Israel, and the United States of America. In today's video, we're actually going deep into the genesis of it all, giving you what actually happened and what has been reported and verified and what could actually happen in the near future. So this is actually the full story, from the root of this conflict to the question that is actually shaking the globe: are we heading towards World War III? If you're not a member of this channel yet, my name is Abdul Razak and I talk about inter-religion on this channel. If you're interested, consider subscribing to our channel, put us on post notification and share. Until then, let's begin today's video. Now, this war did not actually begin in 2026. It actually traces back to 1979, when Iran's Islamic Revolution overthrew their ruling government and replaced him with a theocratic government. From that moment, the USA and Iran relationship actually collapsed. Sanctions followed, the proxy conflict also followed, and the decades of distrust also followed. So, as for US and Iran, they go way back in the 1900s. On the other hand, Israel also viewed Iran's regional influence as a growing existential threat to them, especially due to Iran's support for armed groups like Hezbollah. And at that time, Iran also started expanding their missile power and nuclear capabilities, and Israel didn't want that to happen. So for years, this conflict was a silent one. It was actually beneath the surfaces, where the fight was fought through cyber attacks, assassinations, sanctions, and proxy battles across multiple Middle Eastern countries like Syria, Iraq, and also Lebanon. From the time Iran actually started having nuclear capabilities, there have been negotiations over the nuclear program that they have, and these negotiations had been fragile for years. Western powers accused Tehran of inching closer to weapons capability, and Iran insisted that its program was for civilian energy. So the talks actually stalled, the tensions escalated, and the military power intensified in that region. Then on February 28, 2026, it happened to Iran. The United States of America and Israel launched a large-scale airstrike targeting Iranian military infrastructure and other places. The strikes reportedly hit missile facilities, command centers, and also strategic defense sites. But what stunned the world the most was the announcement that Iran's supreme leader, Khamenei Ali Ayatollah, had been killed in the operation, and these are visual images of when the strike happened. The Iranian state media confirmed their supreme leader's death and declared national mourning. On the other hand, Donald Trump, after the strike on Iran, also confirmed the death of Khamenei Ali Ayatollah. He, of course, did a press conference to the people of the United States of America and also the citizenry of Israel. Now, in that video, he publicly declared that Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, was killed in the US-Israel strike, calling him one of the most evil people in history. He then again described the operations as an opportunity for the ordinary Iranian people, saying that it was the single greatest chance for the Iranian people to take back their country. Now, after all these strikes, Iran did not wait. They also launched ballistic missiles and drones towards Israeli cities and US military bases across the Gulf. Air defense systems were activated, explosions echoed across borders, and reports says that some occurred in Dubai, Qatar, and also other Middle Eastern neighboring countries. And this actually got people talking, but Iran's Revolutionary Guard issued statements declaring all American and Israeli military assets in the region of other countries like Dubai and Qatar legitimate targets, so they had to actually take them down. And this turned the war into an open war. Now, the war did not stay contained. Hezbollah also launched attacks from Lebanon into northern Israel in response to what actually happened to Iran. Regional airspace also shut down. Oil tankers slowed their movement. Global oil prices also surged, and also airlines rerouted their flights, and then financial market is of course trembled, as you can see. But you see, the war was just never a strategy, it was human lives, and reports confirmed military and civilian casualties in Iran and also Israel. The US confirmed service member deaths at targeted bases in different countries after Iran retaliated, and images of damaged neighborhoods circulated online. Hospitals actually filled up with injured civilians, families mourning and also demonstrating, while others also celebrate the victory of their president. Now, the United Nations convened emergency sessions calling for immediate de-escalation, and also the Pentagon stated that the operation was aimed at preventing long-term threats and also denying the intentions of prolonged occupation in that country. And then European leaders said restraint. Countries like Russia, like China also condemned the escalation, and also Arabian countries, of course, condemned the attacks on sovereignty while also urging diplomacy. Now, let's get to the deeper question. Why are all these back and forth between the US, Israel, and also Iran? Now, reports indicate that the Israelis were threatened by Israel's missile program and nuclear advancement. That is the Israel perspective. The US perspective is that they are preventing nuclear breakout capability and also determining regional destabilization in that region of Middle Eastern countries. And the Iranian perspective is that this was an act of aggression and an attempt at regime destabilization. You see, each side claims defense, each side claims necessity, and civilians were the ones that actually paid the price. Now, beyond the missiles, another war erupted online. That is where social media is actually flooded with celebrations in some corners for the death of Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. Others are also mourning in other countries, and then there are conspiracy theories which are not proven yet still makes more noise than the facts. And yes, the fear of escalation which could lead to World War III. It is of course sad to see how things are unfolding, but our trust in the Supreme Being is far better than our complaints. And so to our Muslim brothers, we just have to pray and hope for the best. But that is not all, because with how things are unfolding and countries like Lebanon responding to strikes, are we about to witness a World War III? And this is what I think. Since there is no global alliances formally declaring world war on each other, that is a negatory. And also, major powers are not directly exchanging fire, so that too is another factor. But that doesn't negate the risk of reaching to the point of World War III, because there are proxy expansions across Lebanon, Syria, and also Iraq, and Gulf states becoming direct targets because of US military bases, as well as Israel. There is cyber warfare. It is as well expanding beyond the region, telling us that although World War III is not inevitable, escalation of the conflict is actually possible. And in war, miscalculation is often more dangerous than intention. And so now with how we are looking at conflict, there are three major ways it can actually pass through in order to prevent escalation and eventually the World War III that we are scared of. And the first one is a way to contain the conflict. So there's going to be limited strikes followed by mediated ceasefire between all the parties that are actually involved in the conflict. So we can do regional war where it can get expanded, involving multiple Middle Eastern nations like what we are witnessing with Lebanon. And then three is where the escalation comes in, where major powers draw in economically and with military and or with alliances. But then there are a whole lot of information flying in the media about US wanting to take oil from the region of Iran. That narrative is there among other narratives, which I will talk about briefly in our subsequent video after this particular one that you are watching. In that episode, I will unleash the reporter in me, and then I will talk as a Muslim, because Iran is an Islamic country, and what is happening to them as a result of this conflict is actually sad. But there is the Islamic perspective, and I will bring that right after this video. And so if you have not subscribed to the channel yet, please consider subscribing now so that you don't miss all of our content. Put us on post notifications and share this particular video. We will continue bringing you verified and deep analysis on this conflict and any other story in the world. If this breakdown actually helped you understand what is truly happening, support the channel by subscribing to the channel, share, and put us on post notification to stay involved on this matter. I'm still going to bring the Islamic perspective on this conflict, so stay tuned for that, and I'll see you in that video. Until then, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.